Hello. Happy Thanksgiving. If anyone is there, join me on this lovely Thanksgiving evening. And this is going to be a game changer for you. So if you were there and have just finished maybe your Thanksgiving festivities, maybe you're on your way home or you are home, this is going to help you for the next holiday or even just help you complete this holiday in a better state of mind. So say hello if you're there. So the title for this, How to Do the Holidays Without the Family Hangover. So this is for you, whether you are with family or without family, or if you're alone. So hop on and let's play for a little bit. So I want to share some stories about how this has changed for me. So before and after to help you see the power of the work that is possible for you. So for me, holidays used to be, of course, there's always an element of fun, but well as fun, there's always an element of stress, of a little bit of anxiety and discomfort sometimes with, can I say certain things and what kind of conversations are going to come up? Am I going to want to talk about those things? And then just this unease around, just in general, being around family sometimes. A lot of times we start to act out into our old ways of being, the ways that we were when we were children. Hey there. And we start to play that same role that we played when we were children, and it no longer is the role we need to play, but we often default into that when we're around family days. And so for me, what I felt like a lot of times when I would be at family gatherings was I just kind of wanted to crawl out of my own skin. And so this resulted in me a lot of times drinking, definitely overeating, because then I could just concentrate on the discomfort of all the food in my stomach instead of the discomfort of being around family, which there's nothing wrong with my family. It's just sometimes we get stirred up by family and there's stuff you can do so that doesn't happen. And then other times, of course, I've spent holidays alone. And even though there's an element of freedom in that, there's also, of course, sometimes we start to feel bad. Like, why aren't we with family? Why aren't we with other people? Learning some tools to help you, even if you're in that situation where you're not with family, or maybe your family is whatever it might be for you, understanding some of the energetics around it and how to start to be the master of that. So whether you're with family or you're not with family, that you're okay and that you don't have that sense of ickiness. And so it doesn't have to be necessarily a hangover from drinking or hangover from food. It's just the hangover off when you're around family. So, hi, Elliot. Yay! I haven't seen you in a while. How's it going? So I want to share a little bit of a before and after. For, a lot of times when I would be around family, I just feel really uncomfortable and like I kind of wanted to crawl out of my own skin and would engage in overeating, over drinking, sometimes even just getting really triggered by family and feeling really emotional and anxious and just sometimes not being able to enjoy it a whole lot. And then other times when I've spent time alone, would kind of feel bad about not having family around and maybe at first be excited to be alone and then maybe be a little bit, hi, Brian. How's it going? Happy Thanksgiving. So I'm sharing a little bit of some stories about Thanksgiving, and not just Thanksgiving, holidays, and not just holidays, anytime that you are spending time with family and just the stuff that gets stirred up and how we can start to operate in a better state of mind and being when we're around family so we don't end up destructive patterns such as maybe getting angry, maybe getting anxious or stressed out, maybe sometimes lashing out at family or picking a fight or getting into a conflict, or even, of course, overeating, over drinking are the most common defaults. So what has changed for me is I've done a ton of work in this area because, of course, holidays ideally are a time that we can enjoy being around family and enjoy the time of the season, the time of the year. And so it's interesting for me to look back and think about how much anxiety and stress and just discomfort I used to feel. And this year, I only spent the Thanksgiving with my partner's family and with my stepdad and his wife. And there still, was a little bit of, consciousness about, sometimes my stepdad can trigger me and, being with my partner's family, just being conscious of the things might get stirred up in me. And that's the difference, is that I became very conscious from the very beginning, even when we were working up to this holiday and inviting people. And then this morning, being really conscious about how I wanted the day to go and how I wanted the interactions to go when my family was here and my family interacting with my partner's family, and how I wanted to be. And then checking in with myself throughout the day, making sure, am I still okay? So going on walks when I needed to and taking a break when I needed to. I was the one preparing all the food, so making sure I was still taking good care of myself throughout all of that. And then when my family arrived, being really conscious about what my energy is like, so I don't start to default into that person I was as a child, who completely made herself small and hid and didn't want to do anything wrong because wanted so much to be approved of and accepted. So being really conscious that that wasn't the behavior I was going to revert to. And so that's the key here really is, are you checking in or are you checking out? And a lot of times with family, we end up checking out. We end up going back into old patterns and behaviors. And instead of realizing what's happening, we check out. We grab another glass of wine, we eat another piece of pie, or we start to pick a fight with someone instead of really checking in and say, what do I really need right now? And am I giving it to myself? And if not, what can I do to make sure I do that? And so one thing to do is, when you know you're going to have a family event or an event of any kind that kind of stirs up some anxiety or stress, is to be very intentional before you go, even in the morning of that event, really consciously think about how you want it to go and how you want to show up. And then set reminders on your phone throughout the day to check in with yourself. And especially at some time during the event, have a reminder to check in and then ask, what am I doing right now to take care of myself? How am I treating myself right now? What are the things I'm saying to myself right now? And then do some course correction if need be. Notice if you're starting to default into overeating, over drinking, over talking, gossiping, whatever it might be. And then come back to center, come back to you and say, really, is this who I am? Is this who I want to be? Is this how I want this experience to be? Is this how I want to show up? Is this the kind of energy I want to be in this place, in this space, in this time? And then choose differently. So would love to hear your thoughts. So if you are in a place where you are noticing that you change a little bit who you are based on the situation and based on the people you're around, and that you just kind of feel like you're losing your way or not really sure what's next, and you just spend a lot of time in confusion and indecision and really grappling with uncertainty, and even at times just not really trusting yourself, I would encourage you to reach out to me, because I can teach you how to get back to that place where you trust yourself, you make decisions quickly, you feel confident, you're clear on your path, you're clear on who you are, and so that you show up with everyone, everywhere the same, whether it's on stage performing or whether it's in the audience, whether it's with family, whether it's with friends, whether it's alone, that you come from a place of deep inner security and power, so that you are the person creating what you desire instead of the person reacting to life and the situation and the people. And especially if you're a person that is noticing that you get triggered by other people and by maybe it's political discussions or different topics that come up or different people that you're around that really trigger you, I'd encourage you to reach out to me, because there is a solution and there is a way to really come from a place where you're unoffendable, untriggerable, and can be in a place of calm and power and security no matter what. And really, honestly, that's a game changer. I mean, I can't tell you how much different this Thanksgiving was than previous Thanksgivings. Just being in a place of owning, this is who I am, and I don't need to change in order to get approval and acceptance from anyone, whether it's from family, whether it's from friends, whether it's from mentors. Can't tell you how many mentors have told me so many things that I should change. I should wear more makeup. I should clothes, I should change my hair. I mean, all across the board. And really, I don't need to change anything that I don't want to change. I need to be okay with me. And once I'm okay with me, everything will be okay. Because that's really the goal for all of us is just to be okay with ourselves, to take it with a grain of salt when people criticize us or reject us, or maybe we don't feel like we belong in our family. Know that we have done the work so that we feel we belong with everyone, everywhere, and with no one, nowhere. That you're always a piece of yourself, no matter what. Cool? All right. Can't wait to hear from you all. Have a lovely evening. Talk to you soon.